So welcome. Six points. 3. Okay. Haya, twende kwa P3. P3, it is 1 multiplied by 0.1 plus 5 multiplied by 0.2 plus 14 multiplied by 0.4 plus 20 multiplied by 0.2 plus minus 3 multiplied by 0.1. $10.4. Then P4, it is 7 multiplied by 0.1 plus 19 multiplied by 0.2 plus 10 multiplied by 0.4 plus 2 multiplied by 0.2 plus 0 times 0.1. What is the answer? 8.9. So 8.9 is what you have gotten. Now what you do in this rule, we select the highest. The highest of these 4 is what? 10.4. So the advice that you are going to give is that they should round product P3. Product P3. And then thereafter you copy these values up. This is 4. This is 6.3. This is 10.4. And this is 8.9. That's rule number 2. Then we go to another rule, number 3. That is called max rule. Max rule. Now max rule is handled like this. We begin with the option here, and then you extract the maximum payoff. You extract the maximum payoff. You extract the maximum payoff. So under P1, P2, P3, and P4. So look at the payoffs under P1. The maximum is which one? Ukifuata hizi za P1. The maximum is 17. When you follow P2, the maximum is 14. When you follow P3, the maximum is 20. And when you follow P4, the maximum is what? 19. So this rule is interpreted like this. Select the maximum of the maximums. Select the maximum of the maximums. So the maximum of these maximums is which one? 20. So the advice that you are going to offer to these fellows is that they should launch a product P3. Launch product P3. Rule number 4 is called max-min. It's called max-min rule. Now, this max-min rule, again, we have the option. Then we have the minimum payoff. We have the minimum payoff. So we have P1, P2, P3, and P4. So when you follow P1, the minimum payoff is what? -6. When you follow P2, the minimum payoff is 2. When you follow P3, the minimum is -3. And when you follow P4, the minimum is 0. So this rule is again interpreted this way. Select the maximum of the minimums. Select the maximum of the minimums. So the maximum of those minimums is what? 2. So what do you advise? They should launch product P2. Now, a few things that I would want to highlight. One, you can see these rules, they are all based on the same data. But you can see they are giving us different conclusions. This one imesema P3, at least wamefanana na huyu, imesema P3, lakini wametofautiana na huyu, imesema P2. Na ile ingine tulisoma ya kwanza, it could not even apply. This tells you that people looking at the same situation or operating in the same circumstance, they make different decisions. They're using the same data, but how wanasema P3, wanasema, yeah. And this emphasizes what I told you the other day, that the beauty is on the eye of the beholder. Therefore, if you are knowledgeable, you are not supposed to call anyone a fool because of their choice. Because you do not know the rule that they have used. You should only call me a fool if you realize that I used max min, and instead of selecting P2, I selected any other. That's the only time that I become a fool. If you know the rule that I've used and the selection that I've made. But if you already know the selection I have made, you don't know the rule, you should not call me a fool. Actually, even me, I'm looking at you as a fool, that you are not arguing like a man. Like one. Hey, that's something you really need to know, especially unaona katika mambo ya politics. Wewe uko kwa Azimio, mwenzako akakwenda kwanza. Don't call them fools. Don't call them stupid. They are also looking at you as a fool, as a stupid man or woman. You don't know which rule they have used for them to settle Azimio or for them to settle Kenya Kwanza. And that's how life is. So to differentiate, they brought something called democracy, or which says the majority will be allowed to do what they prefer, whether it is right or wrong. So wale wanaangalia hivyo wanaona Azimio, wale wanaangalia hivyo wanaona Kenya Kwanza tutahesabiwa tarehe 9. Wale watakuwa wengi waendelee. They will have their way, wale wachache they will have their say. Lakini hakuna mtu mjinga na hakuna mtu mbaya. Sawa. Because I see some people calling others fools, simply because someone has not made a choice that you dealt with. Actually, even after you advise a person, don't expect that they will go by your advice. And don't be offended. Umekalisha mtu umeongea kumwambia hapa ungefanya hivi. Finally unaona amechukua different direction. Don't be offended. You never know which rule they used. Yes. Point number 2 is, if you look at these rules, this one and this one, we are combining 2 words. Which one? Max and min. Which other combinations can we have? You can have min max. Good. If you want to have min-max, we would interpret it this way. Select the minimum of the maximums. So what you shall do, you shall extract the maximums. Here you see. Ukikuwa hapa kwa maximums, now you check for the minimums. Check for the minimums. And again, that brings us to what I have already explained. That people look for different qualities. And this is one of the reasons why you should never feel ashamed of how you look like, or how you are, or what you are. Simply because someone has not liked you. Maybe you are Max, they are looking for me. Or you are mean, they are looking for Max. You will get someone who is looking for who you are. Because you look at different what? Yes. Are you getting that? People look for different what? Things. Higher. The other one is max. No, not max. It is min. The opposite of that is what? Min. Min says you select the minimum of the minimums. So ukikuja hapa kwa minimums, sasa utaangalia maximum, utaangalia the minimums. The minimum sasa itabidi uchukue P1. Now, this rule, max, is used by people who are very optimistic in life. People who see good things happening to them. Anywhere they find themselves, they settle for the best. They narrow down on the best. Hapo kwa best, they go for the best. Is it a good approach in life? What do you think? Wherever you find yourself, you go for the best. Yes, that's the way it should be. Wherever you find yourself, even in a class like this one, go for the best. If it is possible, beat the QA at 99%. Go for it. Don't settle for 51 or 50. such that wakirudia kuhesabu ipatikane kuna kamoja umeongezewa inawekwa 49 inaanuka. Go for 99, go for the best that you can. Those of us who are not married, when you're looking around, look for the best that you can get. Don't just settle for any. Yes. Some of you are already at the universities. Don't just settle for a D, for a one. Go for the first class if possible. Go for the best. It is always good. And if you don't get it, at least you are somewhere near. Yes. Now, hii nayo inatumiwa na people who are very pessimistic in life. They don't see anything good happening to them or even happening to other people. They are very negative. Any talk that comes from their mouth is how things cannot work, is impossibilities. You tell them you have joined accounting, and they tell you, hey, what you accounting mean? Ukumbuki fulani alijaribu na hajaipita. Anything you tell them, I want to get married. Hey, wewe unajua wanaume ni watu wa aina gani? Sasa unafikiri unaweza pata msichana mzuri siku hizi. And they have what? Negativity. Yes. Anything you talk about. Actually, some of them, they pretend to have examples, practical examples of how things never work. You tell them you want to go to farming. Nafikiria kuanza farming. Yeah, unasema nini? Niulize. I was a farmer. Tulikuwa tunalima huko tukachomeka kila kitu. You want to run a matatu business. Niulize. I had a matatu. I was working there. So they always talk of negativity. I don't know whether you are able to identify such errors. Now, when someone speaks, it shows what is in their heart. Unfortunately, none of us, it's only God who is able to read the hearts of people. The rest of us, we can't read. So you cannot know why I am speaking. And there are those people who speak out of genuineness, let me use of good heart, and there are those people who talk out of malice. So someone is discouraging you from something, and they sincerely mean good. According to them, they don't think it can work. Or according to them, they have seen it fail. And because you are their friend, they will not want just to let you go and be messed up. So they want to advise you out of that thing. That's good. But the other fellows would know that what you're proposing can work. And when it works, you will be better than them. And they cannot imagine you being better than them. So what do? They want to discourage you from being better. Like maybe when you put kusoma CPA, mwenzako tu ni degree tu ako nayo, ama ni diploma tu ako nayo. Anajua utapita na ukue sasa uko na CPA na diploma ama degree. So they tell you how you cannot pass CPA, but they know people pass. Now that is what? Malice. Now because you cannot know what motivates a person from speaking, the best is to cut them off. Ukiona mtu kila saa ni negative, kila saa ni negative, you cut them off from your life. Because friendships have costs. Hope you do that. If you are my friend, today I invite you for a cup of tea. I pay the bills. Tomorrow when I invite you, what do you think I expect? You also pay the bills. But nikigundua leo nimekuita nikakulipia. Kesho unataka bado nikulipie. The other day nitakwambia I'm not available. Your time tunaendaga kahawa, I'm not what. So why should you incur cost on someone who always specializes in discouraging? There's no reason for that. But I'm not in any way suggesting that you surround yourself with the so-called psychophants. Psychophants are the fellows who will always tell you yes. Good. Good. Those are called psychophants. You need people who at some point you can disagree. Even those of us who are married, the advice you need at times to disagree. Actually, they say, if you always agree with your friend, one of you does not think. If you always agree, one of you does not think independently. Yeah, there's a time I can look at something, I see it is white. My wife and Angalia now are in black. But tunajadiliana tunasema hapa haikuwa white, haikuwa black, it was green. Na tunaendelea. But kila saa mimi nikisema ni white, hata ni white. Kila saa. Now those fellows cannot help you because you must appreciate that you are also not 100% perfect. There are times you make a mistake. So you need a person in your life who can tell you all along zile decisions umekuwa ukisema they are good. But on this one, I think you are going it wrong. Sasa mtu kama huyo ni mzuri. Either umsikie au usimsikie. At least amekuona. Unajua kama mtu amekwambia pale naona utagonga na ukatae. Sasa hata ukienda ugongwe na acheki, you have no problem. Si nilikwambia usiende ukaenda ukagongwa. So let me not. But not the person who now there are fellows who are like that. Anaona tu pale unaenda utagongwa. Na ananyamaza, anangoja umegongwa. Naanza kusema niliona tu utagongwa. Sasa mtu kama huyo anakusaidia. Actually they become enemies. Ukiona mtu anakuambia niliona, ndio unaenda, nilijua tu. I was just waiting. And unfortunately in life, majority of people are like that. Majority of people will see mambo yako inaharibika. They will just keep quiet. Until ugongo ndio anakuja kukwambia nilikuwa naona. Ama even anakuuliza kwani wewe huko unaona. So and also before I move out on that, these people who criticize, although not always, they are also very important in life. Because very few people will gather courage to criticize. Because ninaogopa nikikwambia what you are doing is wrong, unaweza kasirika. So I protect our friendship. Na ngoja wewe mwenyewe uongo ujione. So someone who is able to face you anakuambia hapa naona kwamba you are going wrong. Hata kama naturally, naturally kuja kusoma management you be told, we are created in a way that we feel that we know what we need to do, how to do it, and when to do it. No one should keep on following us and guiding us. So when someone tries to pose you kidogo, unasikia hapa unakasirika. But you should be able to move out of that criticism. Ujiangalie vizuri, angalia na huyo mtu amesema nini. You try to think through that perspective. And you might find that that person is really helping you. They have seen something that you have not seen. But I'm not saying that again, you need to negative size, no. So you need to balance those things. Good. So that was about the first part of Shui. That was rule number 4. We got to number 5. So number 5 is to wrap this rule. So wrap is we have the option, and then we compute something called simple average payoff. Simple average payoff. So what you do in P1, you take these payoffs, you add them, 15 plus 10 plus 0 plus minus 6 plus 17. And then you count how many they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you divide by 5. It's just like what you call arithmetic mean. That's the arithmetic mean. Seven 7.2. 7.2. Okay. So we go to P2. P2 we have 3 plus 14 plus 8 plus 9 plus 2. Seven. Another 7.2. Okay. P3 is 1 plus 5 plus 14 plus 20 plus minus 3. Divide by 5. So 7.4. Then P4, it is 7 plus 19 plus 10 plus 2 plus 0. Divide by 5. 7.6. So in this rule, we also go for the highest. So the highest is this one. So you advise that they should round product P4. The advice is that they should round product P4. Actually, this difference in opinions is what makes life interesting or beautiful. You can look at the way we are dressed at home. And as a result of that, we all look beautiful. The room looks nice. You can imagine come as old to get far. Not be as beautiful. Yeah. So we need to accommodate this. It is also the reason why we have business. Because business is buying and what? And selling. So two people looking at one thing. Moja anafikiria ni time ya kuuza hii product. Mwingine anafikiria ni time ya kununua. And there is business. But kama kila mtu angeona ni time ya kununua, unauziwa na nani? Mkisema ni time ya kuuza, nani atanunua? So we must always form different what? Opinions. And when we form different opinions, then you find that life is moving on. The next rule, number 6, is called Howitz. Howitz rule. Now in this question, we are told alpha is 0.65. We are told 1 minus alpha is 0.35. So we have the option here, and then we have weighted average payoff. Weighted average payoff. Weighted average payoff. So in P1, according to the formula, you are supposed to get the best payoff. The best payoff in P1 is 17. You multiply by alpha. Now that we have 1 minus alpha at 0.35, it means that alpha must be 0.65. So there. This one. It must be 0.65. You may talk about back in 0.35. Plus 0. Before I talk of that, 0.35 multiplied by the worst. The worst there is this one. minus 6. Eight points. Now this alpha, this one, it is a show of the faith or the hope that you have that things will work out for good, for your good. And this is that the hope is the hope that things will not work out for your good. You see, when you are negotiating for something, even before you are told yes or no, you are able to judge from the look of things. And you will anaongea kama nitaambiwa yes ama nitaambiwa no. So that hope you have that itakuwa yes, that itakuwa no. Even after you leave the example, you go knowing hiyo kupita ngumu ama ni Mungu. Ama hiyo labda waniangushe. You guys get wanafunzi wakisema labda waniangushe. So that tells you the person, the alpha is too so high. Yes. And this is also a very important skill, and maybe in life, because some of these things also come with age or with time. You will gradually or continuously discover there are people who will never tell you no. They wait until mwenyewe ujue that they are actually saying no. And those people can make you waste a lot of time. So it is important you be able to judge in advance. Not too quick, so that you don't misjudge, but don't again be too slow. Especially these people who keep on telling you, God at Taona. You will see. You need to be very careful with those fellows. Assume you are in this class, as we talk here now, nauna fear. So you have talked to this friend of yours, akupea fear, ukaenda kumwambia sitanipea fear kumaliza class ile nyumbani. So the person has told you ngoja tutaona. Sasa ukiambiwa ngoja, si unarudi kwa kiti yako. You don't even go to borrow from someone else. You hope that you sit hoping that after the lesson you'll be given what? The money. Only after the lesson, the person who walks out, hata anaanza acha bag yake. Kumbe hiyo bag ashatoa what is important. So wewe unakaa tu hapa ukingoja ati anarudi. After 20 minutes, ndio unaanza kushangaa na wapi. Alafu unapatana na rafiki yenu mwingine anakuambia tumepatana na fulani akopeni kwa manaenda. So what do you do? Na wale wengine wenye ungeomba fare, masha nao wakufanya nini? Mashaenda. So that person messes you so much. Lakini kama angekwambia mimi sikupei, either ungetoka kwake sasa ukaombe kwa mtu mwingine. Na wote kama hawana ungeanza kujipanga. Either kama ni jioni ukingoja class utachelewa, uachane na class uanze kutembea mguu. Ama psychologically you prepare yourself. After the lesson mimi nachapa mguu, hakuna fare. Si lesson tu ikisha unaanza kuchapa mguu. Yes. But there are fellows who will just keep quiet. They just said signal that it can be done. You end up wasting out of time. I remember one friend of mine. The things I used to hire cars, but I stopped. It's not because I got mine, but I realized it's really expensive for no reason. So this fellow, nimemuomba gari for a period of 2 weeks. Mwambia hii siku nitakuwa na travel. Utanipea gari? Yeah. Usijali ndio tutaona. So nikakaa tuone. Nikakaa. I tell you, I still remember it was a Friday evening because we were traveling to attend a function in the village over the weekend. My family washafika pale Thursday. Nina ngoja gari. Tunampigia. Sasa masaa imefika hata watu wangu wamefika. Ya sijui mama amesema nini gari sijui iko na nini. Ngoja tuone kama watamaliza. Excuses. Even that moment he never told me no. He's just giving at a gari kwa garage ngoja tuone kama watamaliza. Sasa ndani saa moja, what do you do when you're traveling all the way to Murang'a? So unachukua matatu unachoka. Now you can imagine those inconveniences. Such that even when I had now to get to Bika, I had to look for taxi. And those days I was na Uber. Zile taxis za negotiate sababu ni usiku. You pay a lot of money. Lakini kama angeniambia mapema, tungejipanga mapema, asipinda mapema na tuende tu pole pole. So there are fellows who are like that. You need to be able to know them. Very nice. The other one, the best is 14 multiplied by 0.65 plus the worst there is 2, so 0.35 multiplied by 2. .8. I twende kwa P3. P3, the best there is 20 times 0.65 plus 0.35 times the worst is -3. Worst is -3. .95. P4, the best is 19 times 0.65 plus 0.35 times the worst. The worst is 0. So 0.35. So once again there, you also select the highest. You also select the highest. The highest in the P4. So we advise them to go for that. We advise them to go for that. So this one, I suggest you first of all look at what I'm doing. I'm drawing a table we call regrets. So normally hear people say, I wish I knew. Ndio hii sasa. Sikia mtu akisema I wish I knew. Sio kama kuna mahali ameongo. Na mahali amerudia. Unfortunately, wanasemanga majuto ni nini? Soma Kiswahili. Majuto ni mjukuu. Have the option, have the outcome. So this is P1, P2, P3, P4, and the probability. So what happens is when you come to this M1, which is an outcome, but tumesema outcomes are beyond your control. So you say, if someone was to inform you that this is what will happen, ukiwa hapo you go for the best. That's what you have said is the best approach. Kwa M1, the best me 15. So this 15 is what we should go for everywhere. Now, if for some reasons you went for 15, what this means is that you got 15 where you could have gotten 15. So you lost what? 0. If you went for this one, it means you got 3 where you could have gotten 15. So you must have lost what? 12. This other one, you got one where you could have gotten 15. So you lost 14. This one, 7. You got 7 where you could have gotten 15. So you must have lost 8. And the probability of that is 0.1. We come to M2 and argue the same. If someone was to tell us the outcome will be M2, to Gekibiria the best there is 19. So this 19 is what we should have gotten everywhere there. So if we went for this one, we then got 10, where we should have gotten 19. So we lost 9. This one, we got 14, we lost 5. Here, 5, we lost. Here, 19, we lost what? 0 with a probability of 0.2. When you come here, M3, the best would have been what? 14. So if we went for this one, we got 0 where we could have gotten 14. So we lost 14. Hapa, we got 8, so we lost what? 6. Here we got 14, so we lost 0. Here we got 10, so we lost what? 4 with a probability of 0.4. And the same style continues that. Now, this is also a very, very important skill in life, not only in QA. You need to know your opportunity cost. When people come your way for whatever engagement, so I told you there are people who need you. You have people who need you. Yes, even me, I need you. If you didn't know, I need you to be in my class. Even you need me. You need me to teach you. Yes. So there are many people who come to your life. And as they come, obviously for any deal, there is a cost and a value. Now for you, now that you need me, unagaramika by paying school fees. Now that I need you, na mimi nagaramika shida hapa nikipiga makelele for 2 hours. Ninachoka. But at the end of the day, I get some few coins as my salary and I'm happy. So for every relationship, there are those things. Now, in determining your value, what is it that I will get in this relationship? Many people forget to compute their opportunity cost. You need to know the opportunity cost. You need to value yourself well. So that when someone comes your way, you tell them, kama mimi unanitaka, then you must satisfy all this. But if you are not able to compute the opportunity cost, you will be so cheap. And everyone will afford you, including the devil. That's why they say, you know, when you are idle, you are cheap. Let me put it that way. They say they are an idle mind is the devil's what? Workshop. Someone who is idle, hana anything. You see, like now, umekaa hii class, useme unakaa hii class, unaacheka, tu hata ufanye nini. Nikuje nikwambia nipeleke hapa platform. Utafurahi, si nimekupea cheka. You have no point even asking me tunaenda that for kufanya nini ama kukaa for how long, because ulikuwa ushaboeka hapa, you are just idle waiting for any plan that can come. But are you kwa class mtu akujia kwambia nipeleke that for, because you are busy, you are in class, utamuuliza tunaenda that for na kuna class. Sasa ukimuuliza hiyo swali ata justify why mnaenda that for. Now ukiona what you will get in that for is better than being in my class, you just walk out. Lakini ukiona chenye anakuambia muende that for is not better than being in class, unamwambia ngoja wacha nimalize class. So when you are able to value yourself, you secure yourself from being misused. Yeah. Even when they are grabbing rag, they grab rag that is idle. They don't grab rag that is not idle. Wengine utaelewa baadaye. Takuja kusema hili alikuwa anasema. Haya. So hapa si 20. 20, 20, 20. So here we minus what? Minus 6. We minus 9. We minus 22. This is 18. This is 0. This is 11. This is 26. Then hapa kwa M5. The best is 17. 17. So we say minus 17, 2 minus 3, 0. This is 17. This is 20. This is 15. This is 0. So sasa unaweza tengeneza hiyo table kwa namna hiyo. This topic is really good. The old syllabus we used to be taught in many subjects, but now that most of you will not do advanced management accounting, it's really the isomea art. No, ego for management accounting advanced, eh? But I hear people say management accounting is difficult, so they avoid it. Advanced management accounting, but it's not difficult. So if you go for advanced, more. Because most of the mistakes or the benefits we get are as a result of the decisions we make. Okay. So if you have completed that, now go to rule number 7. Rule number 7 is minimax regrets. Minimax regrets. Rule. So here we have the option, and then we get the maximum regret. The maximum regret. So we have P1, P2, P3, and P4. So the regrets are these ones. So unakimbia through P1. The maximum is 26. Unakuja kwa P2, easy. The maximum is 15. Unakuja kwa P3. The maximum is 20. Unakuja kwa P4. The maximum is 18. So this one is where you first of all look at where you can suffer. You identify the sufferings, the maximums, and then you run away. So running away means you go for the minimum of those maximums. The minimum of those maximums is this. So you advise them to round product P2. You advise them to round product P2. So we go to the last rule, number 8. Which is called savage. Some people also call it regret rule. Savage regret rule. So in this one, you have the option here, and then you compute the expected opportunity loss. Expected opportunity loss. So for P1, the expected opportunity loss, you just multiply like we did with EMV. So P1, we have 0 multiplied by 0.1. 9 multiplied by 0.2, 14 multiplied by 0.4, plus 26 multiplied by 0.2, plus 0 multiplied by 0.1. Copy that and give you the answer.
12.6.
12.6. We go to P2. P2, it will be 12 times 0.1 plus 5 times 0.2 plus 6 times 0.4 plus 11 times 0.2 plus 15 times 0.1. P3, we have 14 times 0.1 plus 14 times 0.2 plus 0 times 0.4 plus 0 times 0.2 plus 20 times 0.1. This one you're getting 8.3. This one. Nice answer. Eight point three. So, Janet, you can remind us. 6.2. So do the same for P4. Do the same for P4. Before is 7.7. So 7.7. So you select the what? The highest. Not the highest, the lowest. These are loss. Losses, we select the lowest. Eh? So the lowest of this is 6.what? 6.2. So you advise them to route product P3. You advise them to route product P3. And then you record those values for in table. The EOL. EOL. Expected opportunity loss. So those are the 8 rules that you can be asked to handle single stage. So the examiner in this question at hand, I think have just required 4 rules. So you already have answered them as we are answering the others. The last thing that you need to know how to compute is called value of information. It's called value of information. So value of information is given as expected monetary value with information minus best expected monetary value without the information. Now, when you're making a decision in life, it's always good to go for information. So it makes your work easier and it increases the chances of returns and minimizes chances of losses. But this information does not come your way for free. It comes at a cost. So the question is, how much should you be willing to pay? Like now, what you realize in your life is that you require to do accounting. And sometimes in others, you'll be sitting for a QA paper. So you're making a decision. You could have decided to read on your own and go do the exam. But you decided to come and seek more information from me. So I'm giving you information that will help you make the decision in that room. And thereafter, whenever you shall be using QA. And this information that you are getting from me, it has not come your way for free. Umelipa school fees. So the school fees umelipa, is it the maximum that you should have paid or you should be willing to pay? Not only in that case, even in general life, there are people who will always assist you. And some will always say, "Utane by a hema." The kickbacks, those things. You will always find that maybe saidia hapa na pale na wewe baadaye ama kabla hii unione hapa na hapa. Those kind of things. So if you find yourself there, how much do you pay? Now, when making decisions, there are those of us who make with information. There are those of us who make without information. Yeah. Either as a result of ignoring or information being unavailable. Now, the one with information, anajua what is good. So what they do, they come here to this original table. Anachukua the best akiwa hapa. The best is 15. Anakuja kwa hii, anajua itakuwa hii, the best. So anachukua hiyo. Kuja hapa, anajua the best hapo ni 14. Akikuja hapa, anajua the best is 20. Akikuja hapa, the best is 17. Then, this one, the best without, this is the compute. So here he picks the best. Now, what you can see here is that someone who has no information does a lot of work. Nikumbuka venye tulifanya hizi, tulipata hizi. It was a lot of work compared to this one. When you don't have information, you do a lot. Kama saa hii ukiamua unajisomea, you go to the library, you find there are 20 or 50 books of that way. So unasoma gani, unasoma wapi, topic imeandikwa probability, where do you start, imeandikwa decision. So you end up reading very many relevant what? Things. They end up even wasting your time. That is someone who does not have what? Information. But when you have information, like now the way I'm teaching you, you just have it very easy. You know what to focus on. And the answer will be 6.2. Because this value of information, it is also equal to what you can lose. That's why you hear them say, if you think education is expensive, you try ignorance. So you compare what you can lose and what you can gain. That's why it's advisable in life always to seek information. Don't be this group of people who want to keep us outside. You don't want to consult unajiamini. Unataka tustukie ufanya kitu. Maybe you want to buy a car. So unataka kutuambia unaenda kivyako unanunua. Ile siku nakuja kutuonyesha ati unapata car worth 1 million. Nasikia mtu anakuambia hii afadhali ukiniambia nimekuonyesha mahali inaenda. Sasa wewe unaenda umekasirika ukisema ni vipi anakuonea, but kunaweza kuwa na uwezekano that you could have gotten it at what 650. Yeah. So it's always good to consult. I'm not again saying go consult everyone, because there are also people who want to broke. But my point is, if as much as possible, seek to identify people who have gone ahead of you. They have been where you want to go, and ask 2 or 3 of them about their opinions. You'll be in a better position. Because anything you do, you'll not be the first one to do it. You never one. They say in academics, you're not the one inventing what? The wheel. Yeah. Good. Sasa hiyo maneno iko namna hiyo. Now to cement that understanding, I suggest that on your own now, this question of November 2019. November 2019. Question 5A. November 2019, question 5A. Yeah. It's on pages 22 to 23. Pages 22 and 23. Then you can add this one of September 2021. September 2021, question 4C is on pages 14 to 15. Now, the first question, I would prefer you use it to do exactly what you have done. The first one. You just confine yourself to what the examiner has asked. So we call it a day at that juncture and hope to pick up from there.